Sometimes the desire to escape reality is so strong, a simple memory can transport you back in time. For a moment, I actually thought I was back home, my wife Janelle cooking one of her famous breakfasts. But I wasn't home. I was stuck in New York after the fall with a handful of survivors, one of whom was kind enough to take me in. Hadn't seen fresh food in days, but I was learning fast Delandre was a woman of means. Not only did she jerry-rig a refrigeration system, she cornered the market on the key component. Central Park was like a swap meet, a big, wild bazaar. They had everything: solar gadgets and seafood, kerosene lamps and organic lettuce, flashlights, batteries, crowbars of every size. After 2 weeks alone in a hotel room, I wanted to join in, belong to this new community. It was heartening to see all those people, but only if you didn't do the math. The population was down to less than 1%, and everybody had a theory on what happened to all those bodies, how they just disappeared.
It was UFOs.
The rapture.
Couldn't prove any of them, right or wrong.
It was a chemical spill.
But it struck me that no one had a theory to explain the loss of technology. Not until I met Mr. Tanaka. He wasn't bartering like everyone else, he was just giving away his bonsai trees. He said it was an EMP, electromagnetic pulse, that fried all the wires. It was just like I'd seen at the hotel. Anything using electrical energy was dead, useless. I asked Mr. Tanaka how he knew about this EMP.
I am Hibakusha, survivor of the bomb.
He was only 7 when the US dropped 2 atomic bombs on Japan. But he remembered it vividly. How the phones went dead, the radio, the cars. No way to get help. Days later, he found his mother, melted from her bones. So why were there no signs of a nuclear blast in New York? Mr. Tanaka said it had been more than 60 years since those bombs. Surely there were new bombs. There were always new bombs.
Bonsai brings peace, harmony. We all Hibakusha now.
EMP. Unlike other theories I'd heard, this one explained the loss of technology, but not the people. I had this feeling the answers to everything were out there, somewhere. It was up to me to keep searching. Whenever I've got a lot on my mind, I like to walk. Usually juggling 20 things: dates, deadlines, bills. Today there was only one thing on my mind: Mr. Tanaka's EMP theory. But according to Delandre, I was supposed to be out looking for my own place. It seemed pretty certain the owners weren't coming back. Still, felt strange settling into their house. I tried not to think about the odds. But if less than 1% survived, what were the chances Janelle and Kizzy were still alive? Tried to focus on the future, but I couldn't shake Delandre's all-unit warning just before the fall. Somebody had to know what happened. Homeland Security. I asked her to take me there, help me find the truth. Delandre didn't see the point. She indulged me. Didn't take us long to dig up a memo from that fateful night. It had been in the back of my mind since that very first morning, but now it was right in my face. Terrorism. I was starting to realize that the real villain was nothing more than human nature. Rumors of a violent gang called the Pack had spread through the city. Now there was news of a casualty. That sense of security we had started to unravel.
Delandra, hurry, come quick!
It was Flashlight Sue from the park. Sue told DeLandre how she and Battery Bill had claimed this warehouse. Claiming was DeLandre's idea, one of her new laws. The couple had made this place their home together, started life over again, just like we were all trying to do. But this pack didn't care about laws, new or ages old. A man had been killed defending a couple lousy crates of batteries, and it raised some hard questions.
Why? Why?
She wanted to know why we were left to scavenge like rats, why the fall happened in the first place. We didn't have an answer for Sue. We couldn't help her, and that really ate at DeLandre. We are at a crossroads. Either we change directions right now, or we continue down the twisted path that led us here. I didn't really know Battery Bill, but from your stories and recollections, I gather he was a kind and decent man. For those reasons, we can't let Bill's death be in vain. And somehow, we have to rise above our animal instincts, try thinking about others for a change. No matter how bad it seems, the fate of mankind has not been decided. I believe we still have a chance. Looking back on it, that wasn't a eulogy for Bill at all. It was a eulogy for civilization, for law and order, for security, sanity. I'd seen other kids in the city, clearly orphans. This little boy, though, Jason, he said he had a mother. When I saw that skull and crossbones, heard that laughter, I knew it was the pack. I had to get him home. Marla and Jason survived. It gave me new hope that maybe Janelle and Kizzy made it too. But even if they did, I worried how they were getting by without me. Every day I missed my family more. The sense of belonging, the peace of mind they brought. That Marla and Jason survived, it gave me new hope that maybe, just maybe, Janelle and Kizzy made it too. But even if they did, I worried how they were getting by without me. Thought I had it rough those first 2 weeks alone. I had no idea. Marla's story was pretty humbling.
I woke up. The bed was really hot. I thought Paul had cranked the electric blanket again, but he was gone. The whole room was damp, like a sauna.
Then she got a taste of another EMP side effect, circuit overload.
Mommy, help!
By the time she put out the fire and calmed down Jason, the harsh reality was starting to set in. Marla's husband was a commercial developer. He traveled a lot, so she didn't have to tell Jason the truth. All he knew, all she wanted him to know, was that Dad was away on another business trip.
For Jason's sake, I held it together until he fell asleep at night. Next morning, it was all smiles and just trying to make it to bedtime.
To thank me for bringing Jason home, Marla offered me all the supplies I could carry. Since the rain stopped, she'd been stockpiling, sneaking out alone while Jason napped in the afternoons. Apparently, it was a fine plan. Until Jason went hunting for his mom.
I can't do this alone.
Even if it had been my own family, I doubted my ability to protect them. Returning Jason to his mother took every ounce of courage I had. Defending them against the pack seemed, well, beyond me. Fortunately, Delandre had taught me a handful of survival tricks, like how to make a distress flare. All you really need is a few household ingredients. Just like Marla did with Jason, I put on the bravest face I had.
It's gonna be okay. Help's coming.
But in a world with so few people, I knew there wasn't much chance of anybody seeing that flare. And the survival of this family would depend entirely on me. That night, defending Marla and Jason from the pack was a big turning point in my life. My whole mindset shifted from how to stay alive to how to live. I decided right then I couldn't do it. I couldn't kill a man, even if my own life depended on it. A weird sort of calm washed over me. All my fear, all my anxiety, gone. Can't explain it, but I actually felt at ease. To this day, I don't know if I was simply resigned to dying or somehow prescient of the outcome. Lucky for us, Delandre had switched to the night shift and saw my flare. But what should have brought me and her closer together was actually driving us apart.
Just because that lady and her kid survived doesn't mean your family did.
Much as I tried, I knew I didn't belong in New York. If my family was alive, I had to learn how to protect them.
You think it's rough in the city? I hear it's 10 times worse out there.
The pack turned out to be nothing more than two teenagers. Too old to admit they were scared like the rest of us, too proud to ask for help. That's how it was after the fall. Imaginations ran wild. Molehills became mountains. I wasn't going to let fear of the unknown stop me. I just couldn't.
You'll never make it, Russ.
I knew she could be right. But if I didn't try, I'd already failed. Delandre said she'd miss my smile and my curiosity.
Won't miss worrying about you, though.
Truth was, I was worried about her. I knew at some point soon everybody in the city would arm themselves. Pandora's box had been opened. I hope this bonsai brings you peace and harmony. 3,000 miles to Seattle. It was crazy, insane, but it was necessary. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, what hardships lay ahead, but honestly, I didn't care. I was going home. I was going home.